नेक्स्ट लेवल पर ले जा रहा है। Together with my friend
A routine cargo flight, a veteran Boeing 737, 5 crew members on board, and a journey that should have ended with a routine landing in Karachi. What happened with this flight? Well, let's take a closer look at this. Hello and welcome. You're watching Deep Dive. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. Today we are talking about a flight that was supposed to be routine. Instead, it has become one of the most baffling aviation mysteries of 2026. Just minutes before reaching Pakistan, the crew reported a technical problem. Air traffic controllers began assisting, but then something extraordinary happened. The aircraft's radar track showed sudden altitude changes, an unexpected turn, and an alarmingly steep descent. Within 3 minutes, the plane had vanished from radar. There was no confirmed Mayday call, no further communication, just silence over the Arabian Sea. As Pakistani authorities race against time to locate the aircraft, investigators are now trying to answer a critical question. What happened in those final 3 minutes? The missing aircraft is a Pakistan-registered Boeing 737-400 freighter operated by K2 Airways, a small Pakistani cargo airline. The aircraft, approximately 27 years old, originally flew passengers before being converted into a dedicated cargo aircraft, a common practice in the aviation industry, allowing older passenger jets to continue service transporting freight. The flight had departed from Sharjah in the United Arab Emirates and it was bound for Jinnah International Airport in Karachi, a route routinely operated by cargo carriers connecting the Gulf with South Asia. On board were 5 crew members. Unlike commercial passenger flights, cargo operations typically carry only essential flight and operational crew. Everything about the journey appeared routine until the aircraft approached Pakistan's coastline. According to Pakistani aviation authorities and flight tracking data, the aircraft made contact with Karachi air traffic control at around 9:18 p.m. local time. The crew reported a navigation system malfunction, the only technical issue publicly disclosed so far. Controllers immediately began coordinating with the aircraft, but events unfolded with astonishing speed. Flight tracking data indicates the aircraft first lost roughly 5,000 feet of altitude before climbing back nearly 6,000 feet. It then made an unexpected change in heading, behavior that experts of aviation say is highly unusual for an aircraft on approach. Moments later came the most alarming development. The aircraft entered what a flight tracking platform estimated was a descent of nearly 22,400 feet per minute, far steeper than anything seen during a normal landing or even most emergency descents. At approximately 9:21 p.m., just 3 minutes after reporting the navigation issue, the aircraft disappeared completely from radar. Its last known position was around 155 nautical miles west of Karachi over the Arabian Sea. Authorities have not confirmed that the crew issued a Mayday distress call before contact was lost, making the sudden silence even more puzzling. Within minutes of losing contact, Pakistan launched a large-scale search and rescue operation. The Pakistan Navy, Pakistan Air Force and the Pakistan Airports Authority mobilized aircraft, naval vessels and maritime surveillance assets. Merchant ships operating in the area were also alerted and asked to assist in scanning the sea for any signs of debris or survivors. But the operation faces significant challenges. The Arabian Sea is currently experiencing rough monsoon conditions with high waves and reduced visibility, complicating both aerial surveillance and maritime searches. The search area itself spans a vast stretch of open water, making the task even more difficult. As of now, authorities have not officially confirmed the discovery of the aircraft's main wreckage, nor have they announced any survivors. The search continues around the clock. At this stage, investigators are urging caution. No official cause has been determined and any conclusions remain speculative. However, aviation experts are examining several possibilities. The first is the navigation system malfunction reported by the crew. Modern airliners are equipped with multiple redundant navigation systems, meaning a single navigation fault would not ordinarily expect to bring down an aircraft. That raises the possibility that the reported issue may have been only the first visible symptom of a larger system's failure. Investigators are also considering whether the aircraft may have experienced a broader electrical avionics or flight control malfunction. If multiple onboard systems failed simultaneously, pilots could have been forced to manage rapidly escalating emergencies while attempting to maintain control of the aircraft. The aircraft's unusual altitude profile has also drawn attention. Aviation experts note that even in the event of engine failure, commercial aircrafts are generally designed to glide rather than enter an extremely steep descent. The radar data suggesting a rapid loss of altitude has therefore prompted questions about whether another catastrophic event may have occurred during those final moments. Weather is another factor under examination. Although search operations are being hampered by rough monsoon seas, authorities have not indicated that severe weather caused the disappearance. At present, there is no official evidence linking weather conditions to the aircraft's loss. Ultimately, investigators say only the recovery of the aircraft's flight data recorder, cockpit voice recorder, wreckage and maintenance records will reveal what truly happened. In aviation, every second matters, and in this case, it took just 3 minutes for a routine cargo flight to become an international mystery. A Boeing 737 carrying 5 crew members departed Sharjah, expecting a routine arrival in Karachi. Instead, after reporting a navigation problem, it vanished over the Arabian Sea without a confirmed distress call, leaving behind a puzzling radar trail and a growing list of unanswered questions. Well, until search teams rescue and locate the aircraft and investigators recover its black boxes, the fate of the missing crew and the true cause of the disappearance will remain one of the most compelling aviation mysteries. Crew Captain UK Devnath, aviation expert, is with us live. Crew Captain Devnath, what do you believe caused this place to disappear?
Very, very sad and rather unexpected development. Boeing 737 remains hallmark of reliability. It is a very robust aircraft. The cargo versions are very strengthened and stretched version of passenger 737 aircraft. The cargo version is equipped with almost all the radar and navigation equipment which are available in world. Weather may have been one of the factors. In this season, monsoon season, there are sometimes a phenomena which in India we call, say, as a Kal Baisakhi, in which there are very strong vertical developments. Cumulonimbus clouds are there. We can recognize them by looking at their vertical tower and a very, very black appearance from a distance of 30-40 kilometers. Sometimes what happens, these cumulonimbus, they have very strong updraft and downdraft. So a passenger aircraft normally avoids any cumulonimbus. A Boeing 737, the front cockpit radar can pick up a CD cloud from a distance of about 70-80 kilometers. So by all means, an aircraft like 737 should not enter a cumulus CB cloud. Pilots are taught to do a dog leg, wherein they shift their flight path a few kilometers to the left or few kilometers to the right and avoid entering such vertical development clouds. Another possibility is there that icing has taken place. So what happens sometimes in CB cumulonimbus cloud, there are ice formation may take place. So the ice may form on the wing, on the leading edge of the wing. There is a provision wherein the pilot operates a switch and the leading edge of the wing has bladders which expand and drop off the ice. But it may not be serviceable in, or say, all the cargo versions. On rarest of rare occasions, what happens that the pitot tube of the aircraft,
Yes.
Boeing 737, it has got one main and one standby pitot tube from where dynamic and static air pressure is taken. Now, if ice forms or by chance, if some ice enters the pitot tube, the vent, then it will give a wrong indication of dynamic pressure and static pressure to the autopilot. That may also lead to autopilot behaving in an or erratic manner and rapid climb or rapid descent in such a bad weather case. Yes, Uday?
Absolutely. Also, Group Captain Devnath, now the rescue operation has been launched, but what is complicating the rescue mission? Because so far no wreckage has been discovered or no sign of any survivors either.
Yes, it is very difficult. In case it had impacted over land, then probably villagers help out. If it has fallen in over sea or into sea, then in a rough weather, it is very difficult to spot the aircraft from air because the rescue aircraft or rescue helicopter which goes to such an area itself may find the weather rather unbearable and may turn back. The Boeing 737 is equipped with a very good radio transponder. We call it SARAH, S-A-S-R-A-H, search and rescue beacon homing. And in case the aircraft crashes, SARAH gets activated on its own and it transmits a signal. So any nearby aircraft can tune into that frequency and home into the crash site. Similarly, American Western satellites are equipped to locate the frequency, transmission frequency of SARAH search beacon. So in case the USA wants, they will position a satellite on over this path tonight. and locate the signal from the SARA emitter beacon. That should help tomorrow morning for the rescue crew to home in from various directions. Yes.
All right, Group Captain Devnath, thank you for joining us with your perspective on this segment. Let me also rope in now Wing Commander Praful Bakshi, aviation expert who joins us live. Wing Commander Bakshi, what do you believe could have happened to this aircraft which has led to its disappearance?
Absolutely right, Uday. This is a very surprising thing. As Devnath was discussing, yes, cumulonimbus clouds are there and they can be avoided. And generally, no pilot ever, especially a Boeing pilot, will enter because it's available on his radar. There can be so many other things. There was a similar incident earlier also with 767, where the aircraft suddenly lost height and then gained height out of control. Now, this aircraft lost 5,000 feet and then it gained again, went to 6,000 feet and climbed to 36,000 feet. And thereafter, it did a near vertical dive. Now, that sort of a thing can happen in a cumulonimbus cloud, I know it, but it does not happen with a full-fledged Boeing, and whether all the radars were available to guide the aircraft to the cumulonimbus clouds, wherever they are, he could have avoided. But there can be a lot of other things. There can be foul play, there can be malfunction of the control surface, and there have been incidents where the ground forces, opposing forces, have interfered with the flying controls of the aircraft through laser beams. And that's what also can happen. So when the investigation takes place, this has to be found out. Because, of course, it's very difficult to find out the black box now because it's gone into the sea. I remember Indian Air Force lost the AN-32 also in the similar place. So we have to be absolutely open-minded and open our mind to everything. Where the engines have fallen, Boeing, they release a certain frequency called ping. Their manufacturers can pick it up where the engines are there. Of course,
now for survivors, how crucial are these passing hours amidst this very volatile weather that the Arabian Sea is reporting?
If the aircraft, with the way the aircraft, they reported that it has gone down at 400, there's a 550 kilometer or 600, 500 kilometer at that speed, I dare say nothing can be survive in that. But you never know, because these are all, nobody has seen the aircraft actually splashing on the ground. It must have gone into dive, it must have recovered, it could have ditched, because if there were engine failure, one engine failure, the aircraft can fly on the second engine. There is enough power available to fly on second engine to finish the 200 to 50 kilometer, what was left of the thing. It could have done it. So survivors they have all the paraphernalia. They have the transport aircraft have 21-man dinghy. They have 5-man dinghy. There are 6-man dinghy. I mean,
right.
And in fighters, there is 1-man dinghy. So the dinghy is there. It automatically opens up. It floats on the ground, floats on the water, and they can save themselves. But if they have gone underwater, then I don't think the survival is possible. Yes, ditching is possible. Aircraft have ditched, and a transport aircraft can actually take 3 to 4 hours before it sinks. So there's enough chances for people to jump out and to escape. But I personally have a little feeling that this has gone out of control. Could have been because of the cumulonimbus cloud, could have been because of malfunction of or external interference with the flying control. We have to check up the 737-400.
Absolutely. That steep descent. That steep descent really, of course, shows us that something was horribly wrong. Those final moments of the plane will now be studied, of course, very, very closely. Thank you, Wing Commander Bakshi, for joining us with your perspective on that segment.